the feeling of competition is there rather than responsibility. That the younger child is giving competition to me. He will take away my resources. And the first source is family. Now, family is a unit which we can say plays the most important role in the value development of a child. In fact, multiple studies have been conducted which have shown that how family and its different members can contribute to the well-being of the child, can contribute to its ethical development. In fact, family is regarded as the first agency of socialization. Now, I will talk about certain studies. Like one study has been conducted which shows that the education of mother has direct relation with value development of a child. Like there's a saying also, when you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach the whole family. Got it? So if the mother is educated, certainly she is going to have a very positive impact on the psyche of the child. And the value development in the child will certainly get boosted. Education of mother will act like a catalyst in this process. So first thing. Secondly, studies have been conducted like orphanage studies. In orphanage studies, what happened that the behavior of children who have been reared in the orphanages is compared with the children who are living with their parents. So, lot of difference in the behavior was found. It was seen that the children who were living with their parents were more confident. They were more responsive. They were more, what we can say, emotionally stable. And these qualities are important for value development. Regarding these things, these values, these qualities, they lay down the foundation for your value development. In fact, one syndrome is also seen among the orphans. It is called as Pseudo Orphan syndrome. What is this pseudo orphan syndrome? You can write it about also, that it refers to the group of symptoms which emotionally abundant children face, or which orphan children face. So what are these issues? They feel alienation, they have lot of guilt in them, self-criticism is seen among these children, low self-respect is seen among them. Apart from that, anxiety, depression are also few other problems. And such children, these orphans, they have an external locus of control. They surrender themselves to the environment, to the situations around them. So in such scenario, certainly the value education would be poor and the ethical conduct of the child will also take a dip. Alright, he will act as per the situation. He will become an amoral, we can call it. He will become neutral towards the idea of morality. In fact, not only on human beings, on animals also studies have been conducted. Like there is one studies which look into the behavior of cuddling in mother monkeys. In mother monkeys, you will see that the child, the baby monkey, he or she cuddles to the warmth of the mother. That cuddling is seen. So among these monkeys also, it was found that those baby monkeys who were lucky to get this chance to get cuddled with their mother monkeys, these children, they were again more leadership qualities were shown in them. They were leading the group of monkeys. Then emotional stability was also found in them. In fact, these monkeys were more comfortable with opposite sex. Are you getting my point? So certainly, see, like in human beings also, you must have seen this, that when a baby is there and when he is crying, and if nobody who takes him in his arm, the baby doesn't stop crying. But the moment mother takes the child in her arms, the baby stops crying. There is this magic touch of mothers, which has a huge impact on the psyche of the child. The child feels more secure when he is in the company of his parents. So that security is there, and this security only gives the confidence to the child to explore this world. This security makes the child an optimist. Are you getting this thing? So, and these things basically lay down the grounds for value development. In fact, Sigmund Freud, I named this psychologist earlier also, he has talked a lot about the impact on the personality of a person of early childhood years. Like you people, he has talked about the dreams. Like usually the dreams that we see, in the dreams, the background, the location is basically the location which we have in the first 10 years of your life. Like the home in which you have spent your first 10 years. Usually that home will come in your dream. Alright. So all these things showcase the importance of early childhood years and the kind of stimulations that we get through that time. So our parents, our mother, our father, they play a big role. Then you can also talk about role models. Now for a child, one of the first role models are their parents. Parents are the role model. For boy, father, for girl, mother. You will see that the child will try to imitate their parents. The girl will start wearing jewelry, start putting up the makeup of mother. The boy will start he will start imitating like he is going to the office. He'll start doing all those works. Got it? So role modeling impact is there. Then another term which I would like to introduce you with is CRPs. Child rearing practices. The way the children are reared. Basically, broadly we say, then two styles are there. Authoritarian and democratic. Authoritarian CRP and democratic CRP, child rearing practices. In authoritarian, what happens? There is a hierarchy in the family. The male member of the family, he will dominate the family. All the decisions will come from the up. Okay, I mean, no consultation is there, no democracy is there. The father will lead and the family, mother and children will follow. No consultation is taken, no cooperation is there, no coordination. I mean, all these things are absent because it's a one-way communication. From up, the orders will come and down the orders would be followed. And if orders are not followed, then it leads to punishment, which can be both physical as well as mental. And in India, usually we have this authoritarian CRPs. Like religion, for example, it is something which is a private matter of a citizen. But usually the religion of the family is imposed upon the child, rather than giving permission to the child to explore and to choose which religion he wants to adopt. But certainly, I mean, India is not advanced to give this freedom to the children. Alright, but actually it should be given. You should be exposed to different religions. But in democratic CRPs, what happens? The democratic practices, consultations, decentralization, freedom to choose, right to self-determination, these things are practiced in democratic CRPs. In Western nations, usually we have this democratic CRPs, but not in India. Authoritarian CRP is followed. So what kind of personality will come out from the authoritarian CRP? An authoritarian personality will come out. The child later on, when he becomes a member of society, he will also behave like that if he learns that the relationships are arranged in hierarchical order. So later on, he will also have a hierarchical relation with let's say some female members that he is associated with. Alright, his way of understanding relation would be to dominate other people rather than having a mutual coexistence at equal level. Got it? So this is the idea. CRPs, very important. Then observation learning is also an important technique. The child is observing the people around him. Like in India, I have seen children, right? I mean, at a very tender age of, let's say, 5 to 7 years, the children, they start abusing and they start using all those big words, even when they don't know the meaning of these terms. Are you getting my point? How? From where they have learned these things? From their parents only, from their other family members, from the neighborhood. So the child observes the behavior and then he also starts doing the same. Violence is also a part of it. Like in Western societies, if you go to Scandinavian nation, their parents do not fight in front of their children. In fact, either they will go somewhere outside or they will wait for their children to sleep. In fact, if the parents are, even if they are using bad language with each other, or they are involved in some physical fight with each other, or they are just arguing with each other, I mean, the social security officer or the police can be called on and the child would be taken away, that you doesn't deserve to rear a child. So such kind of behavior is not expected. But in India, what happens? Parents are fighting with each other in front of the children. In fact, child, he acts like a referee in that fight. So from there, the child learns violence. In India, I mean, basic method to work upon a child is to use violence. Used to slap a child or used to beat him with a stick. I mean, these things are quite common. So violence is there, and from there only the child learns violence. That violence is a way of making the things correct. So he will also learn the same thing and he will use it in the society later on. So violence, abusive words, all these things you can write. Similarly, like in observation learning only, you can talk about the materialistic society that we are having. Today the child is watching that the parents are running after money. The children are watching that parents are not taking care of their parents, grandparents, but all they are concerned about is to earn more and more money. Are you getting this thing? And why parents wants to earn more money? Because they want to secure the future of their children. But in the process, they forget to build the character of their children, which is the most important thing. In fact, in this regard, from Mahabharata, this thing was observed by Lord Krishna. He said this thing in context of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana. What he said, you can write down this line, that parents want to build the future of their children, but in the process, they forget to build their character. Alright, and this is what happened in case of Duryodhana. Duryodhana, like there's a saying in Hindi, that Poot saput to kyo dhan sache, Poot kaput to kyo dhan sache. So if your son is good, if he's a good man, if he's a man of wisdom, then there is no need to earn money for him, he will earn his own money. And if your son is bad, he has this wicked mind, then no matter how much money you earn for him, he will destroy everything. So the parents who are just concentrating on securing or earning more money for their children, in the end loses everything. Like Dhritarashtra, right from the starting he wanted to secure the throne of Hastinapur for Duryodhana. But in the end, what happened? Duryodhana lost everything. And in contrast, what happened? Lord Rama, he gave up Raja Dasharatha, so he gave up the throne of Ayodhya. And then in the end, his brother Bharat, he gave that throne back to Rama. So Rama got this thing. Why? Because value development, character development in the family was more focused upon. So in the end, it is the character only which will help you out. Character building is more sustainable than securing financial status. Got it? So these things you can write. Apart from that, in observation learning or instructions also, you can say. Then other parents, other relatives also helps out in this regard, like grandparents are there. Grandparents have the wisdom. So through this wisdom, they can help the child through difficult periods of life. Like today we see that the suicide rates are increasing. I mean, drug addiction among children, juvenile delinquency. Why this kind of unethical behavior is there? One of the major reasons is that grandparents or other family members are not living with the families. Nuclear families is what we are witnessing. So these members, they act as counselors for the children in their difficult times, but unfortunately now they are not present. So this thing you can write. Then in joint family, children learn the value of cooperation. Coordination they learn about. Patience they love. Temperance you can write. Are you getting this thing? More tolerance comes when you are living in a joint family. This thing is also there, like one basic observation, like earlier in a house, there used to be multiple members and used to be only one or two toilets. So all the elders, all the young, everybody used to coordinate with each other. They used to tolerate everything, that smell coming from the toilet. Everything was tolerated. Proper coordination would be there. Sacrifice was made. Okay, let him go first. Okay, because he has some more necessary work. So basic things. I mean, if you can coordinate, if you can tolerate things in this context, then certainly they will prepare you to tolerate other things also in the future. The idea of empathy is learned. Responsibility is learned. Suppose two children are there. So the elder one will take the responsibility of the younger. Earlier we had so many children, 4 to 5 children on an average. And yet all of them were reared with ease. But today even 2 children becomes really hectic to rear. Why? Because earlier the elder children used to take the responsibility of the younger one. But now the feeling of competition is there rather than responsibility. That the younger child is giving competition to me. He will take away my resources. Okay, he will take share in the property also. So, such things are coming up. You can write all these examples, these values all that you are understanding. Then, like one example I gave you earlier also, like in India we have these 2 kind of families. Service class and the business class. So both these different classes have different set of value systems. Service class, I told you, patience, stability, gradual growth, punctuality, professionalism. So slow and steady wins the race. That is the idea. And business class, entrepreneurship, risk taking, competition, these things are more worked upon. So this point also you can write. So I hope overall you are understanding the idea, what I am talking about, that how family can impact the psyche of the child, and if we look into a particular context, then the value education type. Got it? So in family you can write down 1 or 2 lines also, that a family is a social institution with a bond of common beliefs, religion, customs, culture, language, and a way of life. Full stop. It is the smallest community. Okay, family is considered as the smallest community of people. Then you can write that family carries on the heritage and traditions, as legacy from the earlier generation to the next generation. Full stop. CRPs adopted by parents often shape the personality of the child, both consciously as well as subconsciously. Alright, like the child will learn many things which he even don't know that he is learning. So at subconscious level also learning is happening. Got it? So this is about families. These all points you can write. And see, I told you that in the first class that in socialization, different agencies and tools are used. Agencies and tools. So who are the agencies? This family, school, college, religious institution, these are all agencies, and tools like observation learning, reward and punishment, CRPs. Got it? So instructions. So these are all tools used by them. So you must understand this idea. So this is done.